Christos voskres, Rislo voskres. Christ is risen. Indeed, he is risen. And on this Wednesday afternoon, the second week after Easter, we have a big winter storm again where I live, Saskatchewan. So it's been interesting. It's almost like Christmas again. But this reminds us how we have to handle the storms of life that come to us. You know, we are pretty, I think everyone in the world is pretty hardened by the nature around them. No matter what country we live in, no matter where environment we live in, we always have to deal with nature, with storms, with snow, with rain, with floods, with, hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes, whatever it may be. We always have to deal with nature. And, the only way we can get through these instances of our life is to have faith in God to, help us in the storms of life, in the storms of whatever is happening around us. And sometimes it seems so difficult for us. Sometimes it seems so hard to deal with the things that are happening in our lives. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes we make decisions that are not so great. We sin, And I've talked about this many times in the past. We're all sinners, and I'm the greatest of them all. We have to admit that. We have to admit our faults. We have to admit our wrongdoings. We have to admit that we need to ask for forgiveness, that we have to ask for mercy from other people. And, you look at the world today, everything that's happening in it, and do we really find mercy? Do we find forgiveness the way that we should be? Sometimes it's hard to find forgiveness. Sometimes it's really hard to find that mercy that we really need in our lives. But we go on. We go on day by day. We try to do better every day. We try to, not make the same decisions that we made in the past that have caused pain and suffering for ourselves and others. So that's really the storms of life. The storms of life are always going to be with us. The storms of life are always going to be, tempting us to make evil decisions, to make decisions that are going to be hurtful to everyone. But, I think as we get older, as we become more mature, we realize that our priorities in life are not always going to be what God wants from us. Sometimes our priorities have to take have to be secondary to what God wants. And this is hard for many people. This is so difficult for many people because they want to do, they want to be different than what God wants them to be. And this is hard. This is hard for us because we are filled with a lot of pride. We are filled with a lot of envy in our world. We are filled with a lot of jealousy and with, this act of revenge all the time. We always want to get revenge upon people who have harmed us. So, we have to learn that it's not always about us. It's not always about our selfish needs. It's about what God wants from us. So, as we face another storm, literally we're facing a huge winter storm here in Saskatchewan, where I live. And, we'll get through it, just like we've gotten through other storms in life. We might get a little bruised here and there. Everyone hopefully will be safe on the roads wherever you're going, if you live in my area. And, be safe. Make the right decision. Sometimes, just like the storm might keep us home, even though we really want to go somewhere, we have to change our plans. Just like in real life, when we want to do something, but God says, no. It's going to be bad if you do that. We have to change our plans. We have to change our decision making to be safe spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially. So sometimes it's not about us. It's about what God has decided for us. And we have to be ready to, sacrifice our wants, sacrifice our needs for the needs that God wants from us. God bless you. Have a great day.